Hello everybody, welcome back. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. It's all good. Life is good. I've been kind of racking my brain for video ideas, and kind of a while ago somebody suggested I do kind of like a show and tell type video, and I thought that was literally the coolest idea ever because I have a lot of weird shit and I thought it'd be fun to kind of like give you guys a tour of the weird shit I own. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to film this video because I haven't really seen this done a lot on YouTube. As you guys know, I am an avid thrifter slash collector. There's a few things that I like just really personally enjoy to collect. I will say I am not a huge knick-knack person. Everything that I get or thrift is very intentional. I don't like having a lot of clutter, and I don't like having a lot of stuff in general. Everything that I'm gonna show is something that I really love and really enjoy having, and I'm very excited to show it off because it's cool. I think how I'm going to break up this video kind of is into different categories because this stuff kind of just falls into different categories. So we're gonna start very tame and start with clothes, and then we're gonna get into like more of the knick-knack stuff I own, and then at the end I'm going to give you guys a little taxidermy tour because if you didn't know, I do collect taxidermy and I genuinely love taxidermy. I think it is so cool and I kind of have a lot of it. And I have really worked on my collection over the years. That's kind of how it's gonna be broken up, and I wanted to leave taxidermy at the end because I know sometimes it can be a sensitive subject and I don't want anybody watching it if they don't want to. So I'm gonna put a disclaimer before I start talking about it. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So like I said, the first thing that I'm gonna be kind of talking about and showing you is some clothing items that I pulled. And I know I've done kind of like a full closet tour before, but these are like certain items in my closet that are just really cool to own and just cool in general. It's not just like an average shirt or anything like that. I was gonna show some of my Japanese clothing collection, but I feel like most people have already seen a lot of it, so there's no point of really showing that. We're gonna start with some shoes that I own that I think are just really cool. The first thing that I'm gonna be showing is this super cool pair of Demonia flats, and you guys have seen these probably a million times. They are from the late 90s, early 2000s, and they are just so stunning and so cool. Unfortunately, they are pretty much unwearable. The soles fell off and they are literally death chambers to wear. They hurt so bad because when I got them, they were dead stock. Unfortunately, if you just don't wear your clothes, they're gonna fall apart. Not only that, but they are so f***ing uncomfortable. So make sure you're wearing your clothes. But these are just really cool to own. I like just having them on display. Not only do I have this gold pair, but I also have this blue pair. And like I said, they're just really cool to own, really cool to display. These are pretty much unwearable too, but still, I enjoy having them. I also have the creeper version of them, and these I do wear because they were already previously worn, so they actually have life to them. The next item of clothing I'm gonna be showing is a piece from my Japanese clothing collection. This isn't something I wear often at all. I don't even remember the last time I actually wore this, but I will never get rid of it just because it's cool to own and it's cool to have. I have this Jeffy Sour shirt. It has this like little weed leaf on it, and it is fully embroidered with glass beads, and on the back it has this. I love this shirt. I think it's so cool. I think that the stitching on it just really makes it different. Truly probably one of the coolest pieces of clothing I own. Moving on, the next two is something I feel like wouldn't be expected of me, but they're t-shirts, and again, they're just like really kind of rare, cool items. So the first one is this Faust t-shirt that I have, and funny story, I actually got this from one of my friends. Here's what it looks like, a better close-up. One of my boyfriend's friends was at the skate park one day and he was wearing this shirt. I saw him and I was like, oh my god, I need that. I need that in my life right now. So I was bold and I went up to him and I was just like, hey, if you ever sell that shirt, let me know. And he basically was like, you know what? You can have it. He like didn't really think that much of it. He was just like, okay, you can have it. So I think I paid him like 20 bucks for this shirt. And this is a vintage 90s Faust t-shirt, and shout out because I love this shirt so much, and again, I will never ever get rid of it. It is insanely cool and just a very, very cool thing to own. We also have another t-shirt, and this is something I don't wear at all. We actually just keep it on display in our house, and it is this 1986 Boris Vallejo shirt. This is insane. Look at the graphic on this thing. Mickey and I were actually in Wilmington when we found this. Because of the condition it is in, we just display it. It does have quite a few holes in it, and it is just very thin and old. So we just keep this in display in our closet room just because it is so cool. It's literally like a piece of history. I love that shirt so much. Okay, so that is all the clothes that I wanted to show. So now we're gonna get more into like the knickknacks and things that I own. I guess we'll start from like least cool to coolest, I guess. I don't know how to do this. The first thing that I'm gonna be showing is my little Happy Bunny keychain. I used to wear this a lot actually on my pants or something, like with an outfit. I don't wear it as much now because it is white and I don't wanna mess it up, but it is this little Happy Bunny keychain, and my boyfriend Mickey actually thrifted this for me. He got it at the bins. The craziest part about this is that it still works. Listen.
Let's focus on me.
It still works, which is kind of insane for it being so old. I wish I could wear it more on like my bags and stuff, but I just don't want to risk getting it dirty. The next thing is so OG. And I feel like real ones will remember this. If you've been following me for like a long time, like I'm talking before YouTube, if you've been following me, you might know this item. It is my baby head. I have this baby head, and this baby head has actually been with me for such a long time, and there's actually quite a backstory behind this. Before him, there was actually another doll that I had that was a baby doll. I sound f***ing insane right now. I sound literally insane. Okay, stick with me, please. I had another like baby doll that I used to tattoo. This was before I was even on social media. I would just tattoo this baby. For some reason, got rid of it. I can't remember exactly what happened to her. I then found this doll, took the head off of it. I sound insane. I took the head off of it. And at this time is when I was like learning to tattoo, and I figured why not just tattoo this baby's head. So that's what I did. It has a little Jube face tattoo. It has this little heart, of course, a teardrop, and then on the side it says Valentine. All of this is stuff that Mickey did, but yeah, this is my tattooed baby. I love him so much. Oh, I forgot he has a spider web right there too. He is actually a topper for my lava lamp that I have. If you used to follow me on TikTok like a long ass time ago, everybody used to ask me about my baby when I would go live because he would always sit right next to me. So yeah, and he actually used to be smoking a cigarette, but I lost his cigarette. I don't know where it went, so I'm gonna have to replace that. This is a close-up on his tattoos. Moving on to something a little less weird. I probably should have kept him towards the back of the line. I actually have this jade Buddha. Very cool. My dad actually gave this to me, and it's very sentimental to me. I'm pretty sure my dad got this in Korea when he was stationed there. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that's where it's from. I'm not gonna lie, growing up, I had a little bit of a rough time. I went through a lot of things in my teenage years and a lot of mental health problems. We're not talking about that right now, but it's relevant to the story. When I was going through these issues, I feel like my dad like really helped me. He was always there for me. He actually started taking me to like yoga every single morning. Like every morning, anytime I wanted to go, he would take me. Truly changed my life. Seriously, I love yoga for that reason. It really helped me. But yeah, he would take me to yoga a lot, and right next to the yoga studio that we used to go to, there was this crystal store that he used to take me to after yoga. So he would like buy me crystals and stuff. And one day he gave me this jade Buddha, and I genuinely love it. It is so beautiful, and it really means a lot to me. Moving on to the next cool thing I have. I have this like antique slash thrift store by my house, and it's basically an antique store but with thrift store prices. Their prices are insanely good, and I was there one day just kind of looking around, and like I said, I'm not a huge knick-knack person. I don't like having clutter, but I saw this item and I freaked because I thought it was so insanely beautiful and I kind of just knew I needed to own it. And it is this vintage Avon Pirouette Clown perfume. This is the box. I want to get this tattooed one day, but this is the box, and let me show you the perfume. This is what the actual perfume looks like. I can't really even describe the smell of it. It's kind of very powdery, but floral. I don't know. It's very powdery and it's kind of old, but I love the smell of it. I actually love the smell of it so much. And I'm not gonna lie, I do use it because I mean, it's just perfume. Why could I not use it? It's just very beautiful to own. I do keep it in the box because I like the box. The cool thing about it is I bought this one and then I went back about 2 weeks later and the owner came up to me and she's like, "You'll never guess what I have for you." Another one. And this one's different. This one is the same Pirouette Clown. Maybe I should get this one tattooed. Should I get this one tattooed or this tattooed? But yeah, she came out with another one of these perfumes, and the cool thing about this one is that she's sitting down and it's still the same scent, but she's just sitting down. I do leave this one out so they sit right next to each other on my perfume shelf. I love these. I think they're so cute. The next cool thing that I just own is this. This I actually got at a flea market for like $1. This is Korn's 2002 live set. It has both the CDs in it. My favorite part about this is that this is actually the set that they covered One by Metallica in, and that is one of my favorite covers ever. If you've never heard Korn cover One by Metallica, go look it up right now. It is literally so good. It is so crazy. And this is the one that they covered it on. You can see it right there. So cool to own. Next up is actually a gift that I got from my sister, and it is this. A little something about me if you didn't know. My birthday's on Valentine's Day and I love anything. Love Valentine's, cutesy, I love it all, okay? And I personally love vintage Valentine's Day cards. So for the past few years of my birthday, my boyfriend actually gives me them. I'll show you. But this is one that I have gotten from my birthday. This one isn't vintage, it just has like the vintage style. And then I put them in my scrapbook so I don't lose them. From my birthday last year, he gave me this one. And then for my birthday this year, he gave me this one, and I just love them. I think they're so adorable, so cute. And so for my birthday this year, my sister actually found me vintage Valentine's Day cards and she cut them and framed them for me. There are a bunch of other ones, so I'll just like take a picture and show you because I don't want to pull all of them down because they're hanging up in my house. Seriously, I love this so much. The only thing that ever gets me is Valentine's Day decor because I just love hearts. I love bows and anything to do with like this style. It is my favorite. I love it so much. A lot of my tattoos are kind of based around that. Moving on, we have this is where it starts to get a little funky, other than my baby head, which was second in the list, which is crazy, but I feel like this was a hard hitter right here. These are a little odd, so don't pass judgment. I think they're very cool and I really like them. So the first thing that I'll be showing you is my troll. I love, again, anything like this. I love Monchichi, Labubu, trolls, anything. I love it so much. I don't own any Monchichis. I really want one. I really want a vintage one. I really want a vintage Kewpie too. Those are like my goals right now. And there's actually an antique store by my house that has a vintage Kewpie, but like it's like really expensive. I'm not buying that. But I do have this troll. I do want to start collecting more trolls. I actually got this one for free. I found it. I literally just found it. Super cool. I love him so much. He's very, very cute. And he actually has a kite. I don't know where his kite went. Along that same category, this is very cool that I own this. Some of you may know that I love Poe. The Teletubby Poe, and I have a little keychain of him on my bag, and I also have a Poe tattoo. And one of my friends at the flea market saw me, and he knows I like Teletubbies. He came up to me and he was like, "Hey, I have something for you." He found me this giant Poe. It is dead stock. I still do have the original box somewhere. I did take him out of the box because where I wanted to put him, his box didn't fit. The cool thing about this Poe is that this is actually the Poe that got recalled. I forgot what year it is, but a bunch of the Teletubby toys got recalled for saying slurs. So this is actually one of the Teletubbies that was recalled for saying a slur. The only reason I know that is because of the year that this was dated. It would make it in that same time frame of when they were recalled. Unfortunately, I cannot fact check it because it does still have the battery pack in it, but because it's so old, it just doesn't work. But it's still really cool to own. And this is like considered like a collector's item because it was recalled. I love my little Poe, he's very cute. The next couple things that I want to show, unfortunately, are not like knick-knacky items, so I can't like them up and show you. I either just can't access them or I just can't like pull them down. We're moving on to a completely different category, and these are my posters. And a little something about me is I love posters. I love vintage posters. I love collecting posters. Literally my favorite thing ever. I love it so much. And I do have quite a bit of really just cool posters. You can kind of see some on my wall right now. And I do get questions about them on my YouTube kind of a lot. So I'm just gonna show them because they're awesome and cool. I think the best way to probably do this is talk about it and just like put a picture to the side. The first one that I'm gonna be talking about is actually the one right there, is my Kurt Cobain poster. And I do get a lot of questions about this because everybody's like, what the f is he doing in that picture? He's just pulling his like lip down with his fingers. The cool thing about this poster is that this is actually a vintage poster from 1994 when he died. This is his like memorial poster. I got this from a record store in my town. A few years ago, they used to sell posters and this was one of them. Unfortunately, they don't sell them anymore, which is really sad because like I said, love vintage posters. This one I did pay a lot of money for, but at the time I didn't care. I was like 15, 16, so I was like, whatever, I have disposable money. So I bought this and I'm so glad I did because it's just a really, really cool thing to own. The next thing is kind of in the same realm. It is music involved, and I have this vintage life-size Elvis poster, and you've probably seen it in my house before, or maybe even in my old room. This poster, again, is vintage. It is very, very old. This one is from the year 1985. I actually acquired this at a flea market, and I bought like a giant pack of posters. Like some were NASCAR, some were music, some were just kind of like miscellaneous things, and this was in here. It brings me so much joy, even though Elvis is such a fucking weirdo creep. I don't like Elvis, but I like this poster. I think it's very cool, and I think it's cool that it's from the 80s. Moving on, I also have this life-size Alf poster and I actually got this one at an estate sale. This one is from the year 1987. He had a bunch of like old movie posters and I thought this one was really cool. This one is also giant. It is huge. It is massive. And I think I did pay a lot of money for it. I think it was like 20 bucks, but honestly worth it in my mind. It's very cool. From that same estate sale, I got this 1987 Elvira poster, and along with this poster, I also got this calendar. He was a avid Elvira collector. He had a bunch of posters, magazines. He had some like models. It was really cool. And my brother is like super obsessed with Elvira, so I got him a bunch of Elvira stuff too. But this is what the calendar looks like. This one's also 1987. It is so cool. Elvira is just such an icon. I have to flip it to the right month because I haven't been updating it. Look at the February one. Okay, this is the April one. Very cool. I need to go put that up. But yeah, that's where all my Elvira stuff came from, is an estate sale. Some honorable mentions that I'm also going to bring up in my poster collection is this one, which is honest to God probably one of the coolest things I own. This is from the 70s. It is very one of a kind. I am so grateful to own this. I got this from a antique mall in Southern Pines. I did pay a lot of money for it, but I just love stuff like this. I think it's so cool, and it being from the 70s and still in such good condition is kind of insane. I also just got this recently, which I am so in love with. So in love with it. I was scrolling on an estate sale website and I saw this and I knew I needed it. I knew I needed it. Again, I paid a lot of money for it. We're not gonna talk about that, but I think it's so worth it. I think it's gorgeous. It is a print from the 80s and it's honestly worth a lot more than I paid for it. So I'm not mad, and it's fucking gorgeous. And it's honestly huge as well. It's massive. I also have this poster. This is also the one on my wall, like right up there. Nothing really special about it. I just really, really love it. It says, teenagers, tired of being harassed by your stupid parents? Act now. Move out, get a job, pay your own bills, do it while you still know everything. I got this from a candy shop by my house that they sell like vintage style concert posters, and I got this one and I loved it. Also, my giant monkey poster. I'm pretty sure this one is vintage as well, and I also got this from an estate sale, and I bought this for $5. It's huge, it's massive, and it's heavy as So I think that's all the like cool posters I have. We can throw in another honorable mention really quick is this right here, Fight Club poster. I love this Fight Club poster. It's not vintage or anything, that's why I'm not really talking about it, but it's just still really cool. And Fight Club is my favorite movie. Speaking of Fight Club being my favorite movie, I totally forgot that I own these. Fight Club is not only my favorite movie, but also my dad's favorite movie. And he's actually the one who showed me the movie. My dad came home one day and was wearing Tyler Durden sunglasses, and I was like, no way, like where did you get those from? He found this artist who replicates a lot of his items from the movie, and my dad bought me a pair of Tyler Durden's Oakley sunglasses. Seriously, one of the coolest things I own. I can't believe I own these. But they're made out of metal. They are so sturdy and so cool. They're so stunning. I need to wear them, but I don't want to mess them up. And they're also really heavy, so they kind of slide off your face a little bit. But how insane are these? Okay, I think that's all for that category. I think that's all like the knickknacks, posters, other things, clothes and stuff. So now we're gonna get into my taxidermy collection, and I'm gonna put right here, massive trigger warning, trigger warning. If you don't want to see bones / not alive things, click off this video. This can be a sensitive subject to some people, and I don't want to offend anybody. Personally, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a preservation and history thing, but I know some people have other feelings towards it, and I understand that too. So if you're not comfortable with seeing it, click off, because I will also be showing a wet specimen, and I know that's very touchy. So if you don't want to see that, click off. For everyone that's still here, I'm very excited to show my taxidermy collection, because this is something I have been collecting for quite a bit. Some of this I won't be able to like actually handheld and show you, so I'm gonna have to kind of bring you around or just take pictures and show you. But for now, I will show you the things that are like tangible that I could just like little and show you. I guess I'll start this by like least rare to most rare things I have. I think the least rare things that I have are just these like deer skulls. These aren't even the full skull, this is just like the top of it. These I actually got from one of my friends at the flea market. He had a bunch of just like deers and he knew I collected taxidermy, so I bought them from him. I have two like this, and then I have two full skulls that are mounted on my wall. There's the picture of them. So yeah, I have these. Nothing really special about them. They are vintage. I think they're from the 80s. Still very cool though, and I like to have them. Moving on, I actually have two coyote skulls. So let me show you them. Here is the first one, and this one is an unbleached skull. It's not dirty, it's just not bleached. There's a few ways of doing taxidermy. A lot of people bleach the skulls so they are white, but if you don't do it, this is what it will look like. This is so old. It doesn't smell. It doesn't have like anything to it. It's just unbleached, but this is what it looks like. This is a coyote. We get coyotes a lot where I live, and this is a coyote that I believe just like died naturally, and my dad just found the skull out in the woods and he just grabbed it and that's kind of just where this came from. Moving on to my next coyote skull, which is this one. This one is bleached. This is what it looks like. For those of you who don't know, my boyfriend does HVAC, and for some reason he finds a lot of bones, a lot. And my dad's a chimney sweep, so he also finds a lot of bones. So this is one my boyfriend got me. I think he just got this from a customer. I think a customer just gave it to him because he like mentioned that I collect it. Look at these teeth. Moving on, this one is a little bit more on the rare side. I have a cow skull. This is another one that my beautiful boyfriend Mickey actually got for me. I'm holding it like this because this part of the jaw is broken off and I haven't got around to fixing it, but this is what it looks like. It's very cool. It's massive. Also, look how big this thing is. This is the first skull that I ever cleaned myself. Let me tell you, it was stinky as it literally smells like death. Like, it's terrible. My boyfriend also got this at work. He just like found it. Moving on to the next skull that I have is this one. This is actually an animal called a javelina. If you are from like Arizona, maybe even California, Texas, you probably know what a javelina is. If you're on the East Coast, you probably don't. If you didn't know, I was born in Arizona. I was not born in North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. I feel like I'm like from here, but I was born in Arizona, Fort Huachuca. So javelina is like a native animal to Arizona, and it is essentially a boar, but they're very violent and they will f your shit up. They like to eat dogs and cats and shit and like chew up your flower bed. That's what my mom used to tell me. You can see these teeth are gnarly. They will f you up. This is plaqued, and I did buy this one off eBay from a guy in Arizona. The next thing I have is this. It's not real. I wish it was. That'd be really cool if it was. But no, this isn't real. This is actually a 3D printed skull that my dad made for me. This is an exact replica of a human skull. Like, this was someone. My dad actually hand painted this for me. It is so insanely detailed and he put so much effort into this. There are layers and layers and layers of paint on this just to make it look accurate and make the bones look like it actually has like density to it. Moving on though, we have some other bones. So the next skull that I'm gonna show is very, very tiny and is actually this bird skull that I have. Again, this is something my dad gave to me. He's a chimney sweep. He sees this all the time. It is very, 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 very fragile. So I don't want to mess with it too much, but that's what it looks like. This is something that I got for Christmas. This is also something else my dad gave me. Again, my dad's a chimney sweep. He sees bones and stuff all the time. And he actually found a fully intact bat skeleton. And so he kind of like made this for me. This is just like a piece of wood and he propped it up on a nail. I will say I've seen a lot of things about how bat taxidermy is really unethical. Let me tell you something. If you are going to collect taxidermy, you need to either buy from reputable sources that you know are ethical or find them yourself. So I have a couple more things to show and the next two items are actually full taxidermy items. I do have a buck and a doe. This is my buck. It's in my living room. You guys have probably seen it a million times. I got both my buck and my doe from my grandfather. He is the one who shot them. Again, there's no way I would have been able to stop that. It's just kind of like a family heirloom type thing. That's why I own them. They used to be in my garage at my family home. And I told my mom when I move out, I want them. And then this is the doe and the doe is in my room. They're stunning, they're beautiful, and I love them so much. The next thing I'm about to show, I want to give a massive, massive, massive trigger warning for. The next thing I'm gonna show is a wet specimen. This can be very, very touchy for some people. And if you like cats and can't see shit like that, please move on. I will be showing a wet specimen. If you don't know what a wet specimen is, it is essentially not like bones. It's not dried out. It is something in a jar. It really can be touchy for some people, okay? So just please move on. So I actually got this recently. A few weeks ago, I was at a vintage market called Dead People Stuff in Virginia, and they had a whole booth dedicated to taxidermy, which I thought was so cool. And I knew I was gonna spend money. And something I've always been interested in is wet specimens. I currently didn't have any in my collection. So when I saw that they had wet specimens, I kind of needed to get one. And this one kind of just really resonated with me. Again, trigger warning, click off if you don't like it, click off, okay. I'm gonna be showing a cat, so I'm going to show it right now, okay. Whoever's still left, you want to see it, so let's go get it. This is my wet specimen. This is of a stillborn cat or kitten. It is insane. It is so cool, and it's really fucking freaky. A lot of people use it for science, and that's kind of like where it comes from. I only showed it for a second because I know it can get very touchy. The cat was stillborn, so unfortunately there was no life to be had, but it's still really cool to preserve it and see it. It's very interesting and very cool. But anyways, that is all the cool stuff that I have to show. I feel like this is gonna be kind of a shorter video, so hopefully you guys still enjoy it. Hopefully you guys still like me after seeing all the weird shit I own. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, if you could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to get notified every single time I post. I hope you guys like this one. I don't know how I feel about it. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you on next Tuesday.